Hi students, today I want to teach you or continue about conformational analysis. So in the last class I tried to explain you about introduction to conformational analysis and also basic concepts of dynamic stereochemistry. So today I want to teach you about nomenclature of conformers. Nomenclature of conformers. It is very important to learn about nomenclature of conformers because if you don't know how to name them, it is very difficult and confused to answer questions. So whatever comes on this lesson, it may be in your PZ examination and also in CSR examination, right? So therefore it is very important to understand nomenclature of conformers. Okay, conformers are classified into four types. Classified into four types. Into four types based on top group prior top priority groups, top priority atoms or groups which are on adjacent carbon atoms. Conformers are classified into four types based on what? Top priority atoms or groups which are adjacent to carbon atoms, right? So you already know how to give priority to atoms or groups, right? So the same thing you need to apply to name some kinds of conformers. Okay, actually the I want to tell you one term, fluidicial pairs. So this term I want to explain you because you don't know about fluidicial pairs, right? Fluidicial pairs is nothing but top priority atoms or groups which are on adjacent carbon atoms. Okay, so just this terminology you don't need to confusion about this term. You don't need to worry about this term. Just simple, you remember fluidicial pairs means top priority atoms or groups which are exist on adjacent carbon atoms. They may consider as fluidicial pairs, right? Suppose I'll tell you, I'll take you one example, N-butane. Okay, N-butane, the structure of N-butane is like this: CH2, CH2, CH3. Okay, so these are the two carbon atoms, 1 and 2. On these two adjacent carbon atoms there is two hydrogens. There are two hydrogens and one methyl group. Okay, so these CH3 and CH3 can be considered as fluidicial pair. Okay, CH3 and CH3 can be considered as fluidicial pair because on each carbon atom there are two hydrogen atoms and CH3 group. Okay, so CH3 group gets top priority over hydrogen atom. Therefore this CH3, or you can also say hydrogens. Okay, CH3 and CH3, hydrogen and hydrogen. These groups can be considered as fluidicial pairs. Fluidicial pairs are top priority groups or atoms which are existed on adjacent carbon atoms. Okay. So with this example I can explain you about nomenclature of conformers. Suppose this is two carbon atoms. Okay, so this is the front carbon atom, this is rear carbon atom. Rear means back. Okay, back carbon atom, and this is front carbon atom. Front carbon atom. Okay, on this one CH3 group, and it is also CH3 group. Another two hydrogen atoms also on carbon existed. Okay, so if you look at from this side, you will understand that those two CH3 groups exist on each other, in line with each other. Okay, they are eclipsed in position. So the bond angle, the dihedral angle in this is, dihedral angle can be indicated as theta. So therefore 0. Okay, so when in conformers fluidicial pairs or top priority atoms or groups exist on each other, when they were in eclipsed, when the dihedral angle is 0, so they can be called as fully eclipsed conformers. Okay, fully eclipsed conformers. Fully eclipsed conformer. Suppose if you rotate the CC single bond into 60 degrees, you will get the structure like this. One carbon atom as it is, and the other one is 60 degrees. That means like this. Okay, in this the dihedral angle is 60 degrees. The dihedral angle is 60 degrees. This kind of conformers is called Gaussian conformer. Okay, Gaussian conformer. Gaussian conformer. Suppose if you rotate that CC single bond into 120 degrees, CH3 and CH3. So the dihedral angle in this is 120 degrees. Okay, 120 degrees. So in that case, that kind of conformers can be considered as partially eclipsed conformers. Partially eclipsed conformer. Okay, and finally, if you rotate that CC single bond into 180 degrees, you will get this kind of structure, CH3 and CH3. Okay, the dihedral angle in this conformer is 180 degrees. Okay, such kind of conformers can be considered as staggered conformers. Staggered staggered or anti-conformer. Staggered or anti-conformer. So conformers are classified into four types based on fluidial pairs. Okay, fluidial pairs, which are nothing but top priority atoms or groups which are exist on adjacent carbon atoms. If both the groups are in align with each other on top of the each other, okay, or in the same line, when the dihedral angle is 0, such kind of conformers can be classified as fully eclipsed conformer. When dihedral angle is 60 degrees, that means due to CC single bond rotation 60 degrees, so you will get Gaussian conformer. If the dihedral angle is 120 degrees, that means if you rotate that CC single bond 120 degrees, then you will get partially eclipsed conformer. Finally, if there is a rotation about CC single bond 180 degrees, then you will get staggered or anti-conformer. Okay, so these are the four types of conformers you should know. So mostly you will get fully eclipsed conformer, Gaussian conformer. In Gaussian conformer you have P Gaussian or and M Gaussian conformer, and partially eclipsed conformer, and finally staggered or anti-conformer. So these are the four types of conformers can be classified into four types, right?
Like your daughter is.
Okay, so you need to identify what are the fluidial pairs or top priority atoms or groups on adjacent carbon atoms. I'll give you some examples so that you can understand. Okay, so this is the first of all, if you want to write the conformer, as I explained you in the class, that the front carbon can be denoted with the dot and the back carbon will be denoted with the circle. Okay. Okay. So can you find out the top priority atoms or groups in this conformer? Obviously hydroxyl groups, right? This is and this is. Because oxygen atom gets more priority in this. Okay. So now you can say that this is the Gaussian conformer. Gaussian conformer, because so there is a 60 degrees dihedral angle is there in between two top priority identical groups. Okay, top priority identical groups which are existed on adjacent carbons. Okay, so there is a dihedral angle 60 degrees. So whenever there is a 60 degrees, that conformer can be called as Gaussian conformer. Okay, that is called as Gaussian conformer. So I'll give you one more example. Bromine COOH and hydrogen, bromine, COOH and hydrogen. Okay. So in this case, this is, you can easily identify that bromine gets the top priority. Okay, top priority identical groups which are existed on adjacent carbons. So the bond, the dihedral angle in between these two groups is 180 degrees. Okay, 180 degrees. Therefore, this conformer can be considered as staggered or anti-conformer. Staggered or anti-conformer. Now it is clear to you? Yeah. So here bromine gets the top priority, which are identical on adjacent carbons. Okay. Suppose I'll give you one more example. Suppose when hydrogen, bromine, 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 bromine. When a conformer exists like this, how can you name it? How can you name it? Whether it is Gaussian conformer or anti-conformer, or how you can decide? In this, on two adjacent carbons, so there are two bromines and one hydrogen. Okay, so there are 4 bromine atoms and two bromine atoms on each carbon atom. Therefore, you can take hydrogen as fluidicial pair. You can take hydrogen here as fluidicial pair, because if you take bromine, so it is very difficult to classify that whether it is Gaussian conformer or staggered and which conformer. Okay, so in this case you can identical two groups hydrogen atoms, they are 60 degrees dihedral angle they have. Therefore this can be considered as Gaussian conformer. That is Gaussian conformer. So that is how you can give priorities. Okay, so conformers can be classified into 4 types based on the top priority atoms or groups which are identical on adjacent carbon atoms. Okay, so in this case hydroxyl groups can be identical top priority fluidicial pairs. Therefore they are separated by dihedral angle 60 degrees. They can be classified as Gaussian conformer. In this case bromine, and they are 180 degrees dihedral angle. Therefore it can be classified into staggered or anti. In this case, so 4 bromine atoms, we cannot take bromine as fluidicial pair, because there should be 4, 2 only. Okay, if it is 4, it is very difficult to write Gaussian or anti or whichever conformer. So therefore you can take 2 hydrogen atoms as fluidicial pair, top priority or adjacent identical atoms, so that they are they have 60 degrees of dihedral angle. Therefore they this conformer can be called as Gaussian conformer. Okay, so you need to understand about this classification. So, so how many types of conformers are there? One is fully eclipsed conformer, fully eclipsed conformer. When the fluidicial groups on each other, they are top of on each other, or in one line, they can be considered as fully eclipsed conformer. Fully eclipsed conformers and partially eclipsed conformers. Partially eclipsed conformers. Both have dihedral angle is dihedral angle is 0 degrees. Therefore, they can be considered as eclipsed conformers. Suppose dihedral angle is 60 degrees. 60 degrees. So, when fluidicial pairs are top priority atoms or groups on which are identical on adjacent carbons, if they have dihedral angle 60 degrees, they can be considered as Gaussian conformers. Gaussian conformers. If they have 120 degrees, 0 degree and 120 degree, both are fully eclipsed and partially eclipsed, okay? And Gaussian conformer 60 degrees. Next, 180 degrees. 180 degrees, dihedral angle is there, then they can be called as staggered conformer. Staggered conformer or anti-conformer. Anti-conformer. Okay. Then what about next? 240 degrees. Then 300 degrees. 240 degrees means it is partially eclipsed conformer. 300 degrees means it is Gaussian conformer. Okay. And then 360 degrees, it is fully eclipsed again. Okay. So therefore, they can be classified into 4 types. One is eclipsed conformer, another one is Gaussian conformer, another one is staggered or anti-conformer. Okay, fully eclipsed, partially eclipsed, Gaussian and staggered. So these are the 4 types of conformers are there. So therefore, in every example, you need to verify about these conformers based on the dihedral angle, and you can try to predict the stability of those conformers, and also you have to familiar to write the stability order among different conformers. Okay. So the modern rule, Klein-Prolog rule. Klein-Prolog terminology. So this is the modern one. So you should know about this. Klein-Prolog terminology. Klein-Prolog terminology. So I'll take a circle, 360 degree circle. Okay. This is the 0 degrees, and here is off is 180 degrees, right? Off is 180 degrees, and here 90 degrees. Here is 270 degrees. 270 degrees. So the above part is called sin. Okay, the above of is called sin. The below one is called anti. The below one is called anti. Above one is called syn, below one is called anti. So 0 degrees, 180 degrees, 90 degrees, and this is 270 degrees. So the right part has positive charge, the left part is negative value. Okay, the right side, the clockwise side is plus value, the left side or the anti-clockwise side is negative value. Okay, and you need to know about one more circle. So 0, 180 degrees, 90, 270. Okay, so there is a torsional strain. That means, so there is plus or minus 30 degrees. Okay, there is a plus or minus 30 degrees variation will be there. Therefore, you can write like this into X mark. Okay, so this is 30 degrees, this is 150 degrees, this is 210 degrees, and this is 330 degrees. Okay, the variation 30 degrees plus or minus 30 degrees. In this case, plus 30 means 30 degrees, minus is equal to 330 degrees. In this, plus 150 plus 30 is equal to 180 degrees. So 180 plus 30 is equal to 210 degrees. Okay, so here 360 minus 30 degrees is equal to 330 degrees. So like this, so there is a 30 degrees variation or plus or minus is there. So the above one is called periplanar. The above one is called periplanar. The below one is called antiplanar. So this side is called clenal, and this side also called clenal and clenal. So periplanar can be shown as P. Antiperiplanar also called as AP. Okay, P. Clenal means C means clenal. Okay. So finally, I write the overall picture. So then you can understand easily. Okay. So I'll put it into mark. Okay, and I'll dot this one. It is so this is the 0 degrees, so 90 degrees, so 180 degrees, 270 degrees. Okay, this is 30 degrees, this is 150 degrees, this is 210 degrees, and it's a 330 degrees. Okay, so now the above part is syn, that means yes. The below part is anti. Okay, so what about these two parts? Periplanar, P. So therefore you can call, if these can be called as plus or minus SP. SP means syn and periplanar. Okay, what about this? Suppose if you have then plus SC. So what about this? This is below part is anti, therefore plus AC, anticlinal. So what about this here? Anti-periplanar, plus or minus anti-periplanar. Okay. So what about this? Minus AC, anticlinal. What about this one? This part minus SC, synclinal. Okay. So this diagram you must understand. Then it is very easy to give nomenclature according to Klein and Prelog terminology. Suppose I'll tell you one example. So I'll give you one examples, so that I'll give some examples so that you can understand how we can give this plus SC, plus AC, plus or minus SP, plus or minus AP, minus AC, minus SC. Okay. So this is Klein Prelog terminology. So I'll give you examples. CH3 hydrogen N-butane. Okay. Hydrogen and hydrogen CH3. So according to this terminology, how we can identify this one, in which it comes under. Okay. So here these two are top priority fluidicial pairs, right? So the dihedral angle between these two bonds, adjacent bonds, is 60 degrees. 60 degrees means it comes here. Okay, it comes here. Therefore, plus or minus SP, plus SC, not plus or minus, because it is more than 30. Therefore, plus SC conformer. Okay, plus SC conformer. So I'll give some more examples. CH3 hydrogen and hydrogen.